Today starts a 2-year journey where we figure out how these 5 oils hold up at the 6-month, the 1 year, and the 2-year mark. In this video, we'll see how they look after initial application and after 6 months. There'll be a second video where we check in after a year, and there'll be a third video where we check in after 2 years. Now's a great time to click that subscribe button followed by the bell notification. That way you don't miss the follow-up videos for this product shootout. Let's start with the basics. The hardwoods we're focused on in this video are from South America. These include woods like Ipe, Massaranduba, Cumaru, or Purple Heart. These are sometimes referred to as Brazilian hardwoods. These hardwoods are grown in rainforests, so they're ultra dense. They have a lot of natural oils that last a really long time, but you still have to take care of them. Like all lumber, these hardwoods are susceptible to graying when they're exposed to sunlight. It's from the UV rays. In order to protect the natural beauty of these hardwoods, we have to apply some sort of protective finish. That's where these 5 oils come in. I selected these based on 2 criteria. First, they have to have UV protection, which all of these do. Second, they cannot be film-forming finishes. And the reason for that is because film-forming finishes require sanding or stripping for reapplication. And typically, you have to reapply these at 1 year, 2 year, maybe sometimes as long as 3 years. And we want low maintenance. So high production, low maintenance. So today and over the next 2 years, these 5 products are going head to head. Let's see what we've got. Here we have Penofin Penetrating Oil Finish. It specifically mentions Brazilian rosewood oil. Next up, we have Messmer's UV Plus for hardwood decks. The Cabot's Australian Timber Oil for deck, siding, railing, and outdoor furniture. If you read further on the label, it does talk about these hardwoods that we're discussing. Next up, we have Ipe Oil. It's got Ipe right in the name. And then lastly, we have Armstrong Clark Wood Stain for decks, fences, and siding. This says hardwood and softwood. Now let me explain the basics of the test. We're going to apply each of these 5 oils to 2 pieces of scrap Massaranduba. I'm going to apply it today, each one per the manufacturer's instructions, and I'm going to show you what it looks like after initial application. Then we're going to fast forward 6 months, and I'm going to show you how it's holding up then. My follow-on video in a year from now is going to show you how it looks after the 1 year mark. And what we'll do at that time is we're going to then apply a second coat to half of each of the test pieces. And the third video will take place 2 years from now, and we'll see how both the 1 coat and 2 coat applications held up. Now let me show you why we're using 2 pieces for each product. This is my test setup here. Now I know it's not much to look at, but it will get the job done. I've got 6 vertical pieces and 6 horizontal pieces. The horizontal pieces will show you how these products hold up when you apply them on 2 decks. And the vertical pieces represent those of you who have siding, so you'll see how it holds up in this situation where it's getting a lot of sun, but maybe not a lot of pooling of water. Now I'm using Massaranduba here because that was the scrap that I have. In my experience, Ipe, Massa, and Cumaru all pretty much accept oils the same way, and they wear at about the same rate. So I think this wood is an accurate representation of how it would hold up for any of the other hardwoods. Okay, so I'm going to apply each product, like I said, per the manufacturer's instructions. If the instructions state to use a brush, I will use the same type of brush for each product, but it will be a brand new brush for every product. After I'm done and it's dried, we're going to go outside where this thing is going to live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the entire year and the entire year after that. I'm going to face it south because that is the worst condition in my location. I really want to beat this up and I want to see how each of these holds up. So I'm going to go ahead and do this application and then I'll see you outside. Well, it's been 48 hours since I applied all of these oils and now they're outside. Looks like they may get their first test of a little bit of rain right out of the gate. Now, the first question you probably have is, why are there 6 pieces if we're testing 5 products? Well, piece number 1 on both the vertical and horizontal is untreated. This is our control piece, so we can see how it weathers naturally when it's exposed to the elements. So here's how I've applied these. I have the Armstrong Clark here, the Cabots, the Deckwise, the Messmers, the Penofin. Same order on the horizontal as well. For the most part, they all applied about the same. I did find that the Messmers and the Penofin seemed to really soak into the wood, and I found I had to apply a little bit more material for both of those. If you go to the corresponding blog post for this video, I'll show close-up pics of each one of these and how they look relative to the control piece and relative to one another. Okay, now let's fast forward 6 months to see how all of these have held up from June to December. Well, here we are 6 months later. It's the middle of December, and all I can say is huge disappointment across the whole board. The only one that held up at all is maybe this Cabot on the vertical, but everything on the horizontal looks terrible. Vertical doesn't look great either. Overall, I'm very unimpressed with the results of all of these. I almost don't even want to go the full year because it's just not going to look good. But I said I would, so we're going to let it go the full year. And maybe I'll change what it is that we do at the 1-year mark. If there are any manufacturers of these products watching, maybe leave us a comment and let us know what could have been done differently here. Application was done per the instructions, so I'm just really not sure why we got such disappointing results. But if you'd like to see how this turns out in a year and to see how maybe I change this test to hopefully make it better, please subscribe and click that bell so you get notified of that future video. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Chris with Toolbox DIY.